going to go ahead and turn down the music for just a moment. Okay. So welcome everyone. Welcome back. Hi Ruth. Good morning. So thank you Ruth for starting us off, and hi Nina. Um, if you're jumping in this morning, welcome first of all. We're so glad you're here for our morning to start our week off. Hi Julia and Jimmy. Hi Dana. Thank you everyone that's saying hello. To continue that off, while we're waiting to get started this morning, I would love it if everyone can please just let us know where you're joining us from and what your name is. That way we can know where you're connecting with us from. Okay, so go ahead and in the chat let us know where you're joining from with us, so we can say good morning, and we'll be getting started at 11:30. Hi, Gramina, thank you very much. Hi, Nisa, good morning. Thank you, everyone that's saying good morning. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Emily from Cranford. Hi, Emily. Hi, Victoria and Maya. Good morning. Hi, Haley, Hazel, and Ella. Good morning. Hi, Shivesh. Good morning. Thank you to all my friends that are saying good morning. Hi, Isaac. Welcome, Isaac from Franklin Lakes. Hello. Oh, Julia and Jimmy, I'm glad that made you so excited. Good morning. Hi, Angel from Staten Island. Good morning. Hi, Alana from Bennington, Vermont. Hi, Alana. I hope I said that right. Thank you to everyone that's joining us. As I mentioned before, if you're joining us here and you're just jumping in, go ahead and tell us where you're joining us from. Hello, Peggy. Hi, Vivian. Good morning. Hi, Milani. Good morning from Pennsylvania. That's awesome. Oh, hi, Hans from Jersey City. That's right around the corner from the Science Center. That's awesome. Wow. Hi, Tommy from Toronto. Welcome. George, good morning. Hi, Sophia from Secaucus. Good morning. Hi, Tatsat from Tampa, Florida. That's awesome. Wow. That's so great that we're able to connect with so many people around beyond New Jersey, right? I'm coming to you from my home in New Jersey. Hi, Blake and Zoe from Jersey City. That's also right around the corner from the Science Center. So, friends, we're going to get started in another minute, but thank you to everybody that's saying good morning, letting us know where you're joining us from. Okay? So go ahead if you're just jumping in right now. We're just saying good morning to everyone. I'm wishing everyone a happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. As you can see on the screen, we're going to be doing a story time right now. So we're about to get started in another minute. Okay? So hi Jason. Hi LNT from Bergen County. That's awesome. Hi Selvin from Warren. Hi Liberty from the UK. Wow. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Hi Alex from Sea Caucus. Hi Seamus. Hi DV Chef from Jersey City. Oh, so I see Jennifer, you just asked what book are we reading? We're reading Water Dance from by Thomas Locker. Hi Madison, good morning. So we're reading again Water Dance from Thomas Locker, or by Thomas Locker. He is the author and illustrator. Hi Simra from Queens, hello. Hi Sanika and Sahil from Livingston, good morning. Hi Selena and Paris from Georgia, good morning. All right, my friends, so it is 11:31. Oh, welcome, my friend, welcome. I see Anastasia said it's your birthday today. That's awesome. Happy birthday, friend. So we're gonna get started this morning, friends. And what I'm gonna do, since it is 11:31, like I said, we're gonna get started. So in a moment, I'm gonna switch the screen you're seeing, but keep going and saying hello. Let us know where you're joining us from. Okay, and first off, we're so glad you're here joining us for Monday. If I didn't say good morning to you or I didn't see your name, I apologize, friends. But please know that I'm so glad you're here joining us on our beginning of our week, getting started on Monday morning. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen so we can get started today. Okay, so good morning. Hi, friends. So, if this is your first time joining us, my name is Mr. Kengo. I'm one of the educators here at Liberty Science Center. So, I have the pleasure of working with our youngest audience members, so primarily our pre-K to second grade students. So, if you're within that age group, this is the program for you. And if you're older than that, or you are a parent or a teacher, we're so glad you're here regardless, so you are always welcome. Um, Before we get started, friends, I wanted to just put out some stuff and let you know a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. So, if you have been joining us, you might see and you have seen me look routinely this way. Okay, but this is still really great to go over for our friends that may be joining us for the very first time. Okay, so if this is your first experience, friends, welcome, right? But also, I wanted to let you know if you see me looking this way, that's just for me to help see your comments live on Facebook. Okay? Because during today's program, I might be responding to some of your comments, right? Just like I said, hello to everybody and happy birthday to our friend that is their birthday today. Okay? But I wanted to make sure you knew that in case you see me looking this way and you're wondering why I'm doing that. But also, friends, I wanted to take a moment to let you know how much fun doing programs like this is. I love connecting with everybody on Monday mornings. I missed you guys. So I really enjoy doing programs like this. And I know that goes for many of our educators, connecting with you from home, from their home, live here on Facebook. So I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for everybody that's been joining us on Monday mornings, but also to let you know that since we are a nonprofit organization, Liberty Science Center is welcoming all donations of any size that you might have so that we can continue work just like this. Right? We love connecting with everybody, especially since unfortunately we're not able to open the building just yet, right? And we're not able to welcome you into our home at the Science Center. So we're still really grateful and honored to be connecting with you from home. So if you would like us to keep doing that, and I would like to keep doing that, uh, we encourage everybody to visit lsc.org/donate to contribute if you can, a donation of any size. Okay? All right. So let's get started. So like I said before, we're going to be doing a story time today. So friends, if you have done a story time at home, right? If your family reads you stories at home, which is awesome, or you've read stories as part of a circle time or a story time in your school, it's going to be very similar. Okay, but since we're doing it live on Facebook, instead of having the book in front of me like this, I wanted to make sure everybody could see the pages and see the illustrations. So what we're going to be doing instead, friends, is I'm going to have some pictures on the screen for you. So you can see the pictures, you can see the words, and that way it'll be easier for you to follow along from home. Okay? So like I said, today's story is Water Dance by Thomas Locker. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen so that you can see the title page. All right? So let me go ahead and do that. So here is our first screen. Your pages are going to very much look like this. Okay, friends? So this way you can see all the words and all the pictures that make up this wonderful story. Now, if you've been practicing identifying these things like an author and an illustrator and a title page, right, as part of school, this is a great opportunity to continue practicing just that, right? So Thomas Locker is the author. That means he wrote the words. Okay, but he also happens to be the illustrator. Now, an illustrator, friends, is someone that makes the pictures or draws the pictures. And in this case, as part of our story Water Dance, Thomas Locker is a painter. So you're going to see that a lot of the pictures look like paintings, right? Instead of some pictures that we may have seen during our last story time, right? If you were able to join the last one, which was Jessica's X-ray, right? They're very different this time, okay? Now, as part of our story today, we're going to be talking all about the water cycle. So if you know something about the water cycle, that's awesome. But I thought we could start with that. Okay? So the water cycle is a great thing to understand what's happening in terms of our world around us. Okay, so I thought we'd start with that and take a look and think about what happens to water when it's outside. So here is Mr. Kengo's puddle, ocean, lake, right? So let's pretend this is a lake, right? Now, if this lake is outside, right, there's a giant sun that's beaming on it, warming it up. Now, when all that water warms up, right, something happens to that water, right? It just doesn't stay there, right? It changes, right? So if you've ever had a cold glass of water outside, or you see a puddle after it rains outside and the sun comes out, that puddle starts to disappear, right? Now, what's happening to that water? Well, that water is going through a process called evaporation. Okay, and that basically means that the water is turning from a liquid, right, like Mr. Kengo's bottle of water, right, or the puddle we see outside after it rains, or the lake that's part of our example, right, it's in a liquid form. But when the sun warms it up, it changes, right, because of temperature, and it changes into a gas. Now that process is called evaporation. So when this evaporated water goes up into the sky, up into the air, higher in the atmosphere, it's much colder. Okay? And something else happens to all that water. Now, one thing I like to think about when I'm trying to wrap my head around what happens to that water when it goes up into the atmosphere, right, up into the sky, is to think about what happens with our own bodies when we're really cold, right? So if you can remember back to wintertime, right, and if you maybe were waiting for a bus, right, to go to school or to go to your favorite supermarket or somewhere else, right, and you were waiting for a bus, right, and you're waiting outside and it gets really cold, what do you do with your arms, right? Maybe you might do what I do when I get really cold and I go like this, right? Is that what you guys do? Yeah. So I go like this to help keep myself warm. Water does the same thing. So as water evaporates, right, it goes high into the sky. But when it gets cold, they come together, right? They stick together, right? So as water comes together, it starts sticking to things already in the air, like dust and water crystals. And they start growing and growing and growing and growing. And that process is called condensation. Okay, so as water goes up into the atmosphere, it condenses and starts sticking to each other to form things like clouds. Now, as that water keeps building and keeps condensing, right, eventually those clouds can't hold any more water, right? Now, what happens to that water then? Well, it goes through something called precipitation, which is when you see rain coming down, right? But it's not only rain. Precipitation can mean a lot of different things, right? Precipitation can be snow, it can be hail, and it can be rain too, much like we're seeing on our screen right now. And that rain and snow and hail travels back down to the ground and helps provide wonderful source of water for our plants and our animals and the soil, right? And us too. And eventually might make its way back to the lake we talked about in the beginning, right? And so you can see how it makes this big cycle, right? This never-ending cycle between evaporation, condensation, precipitation, back to evaporation again, right? So there's this big cycle that we call the water cycle, okay? And that's all because the sun warms up the Earth's surface, right? So the sun makes heat, which warms up water, which causes it to change. Now, the reason we're talking about the water cycle today is during our book Water Dance, we're going to see that water can become lots of different things, okay? So that's why I thought it'd be really cool to talk about the water cycle. Now, during today's program too, we're going to also be guessing what water has turned into. So here are some of those different things that water can turn into, and some of the words we're going to see pop up during today's story. Okay? Now, you might have seen it in the description for today's read aloud that you are encouraged to bring a paper and a pencil, or a pen, or a crayon or marker, something to write with, right? But if you didn't happen to grab that, that's okay, right? You don't need it if you didn't grab it, or you don't have it in front of you. Okay? Because what I'm going to do, friends, is during our story and our read aloud, I'm going to be popping up some words to guess from. Okay, so if you have some paper and a pen and you want to guess on your own, you can certainly write these words down now. Okay, but don't worry, you don't have to feel pressured or rushed, right? Because sometimes when I get rushed, I feel nervous. Okay, so if you want to write these words down now, that's great. But if you feel anxious and you don't feel like you're going to have time, friends, don't worry. Okay, because what I'm going to do, like I said before, as we go through each of those pages in our book, you're going to see on the right side or the left side of your screen, there's going to be some words for you to guess from, and we can guess from those. Okay? Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do, friends, is I'm going to go ahead and change this. And this is going to be our very first page. And since we're going to be reading aloud, friends, I'm going to make my image a little bit bigger so that you can see me. Okay? And here we go. So our story again, friends, is called Water Dance by Thomas Locker. Now, during our program, you might also see this pop up. This is because, friends, in this book, they do a really wonderful job about including some really cool facts about water. So this is one of those really cool facts at the end of our book, right? So if you take a look and you get this book, you might see on the end of the book, right, there's some really interesting facts about water and water on our planet, right? So since we're not going to be reading the book like this, I thought I'd include some of those, not all of those, but some of those really interesting ones that I found really fascinating. So this is one of them, that water makes up more than 70% of the Earth's surface. That's really cool, right? It's really interesting. So let's turn to our first page. Some people say that I am one thing. Others say that I am many. Ever since the world began, I have been moving in an endless circle. Sometimes I fall from the sky. I am the... Okay, here come your choices. Rain, waterfall, or sea. So friends, if you want to go ahead and type it in the chat and leave us a comment, friends, you can certainly do that. I'm going to go ahead and look here to see if I see any of those thoughts coming in. Okay? So let's see. If you want to type it in, right, leave a comment which one you think it is. You can certainly try that, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what it is. So right, some people say that I am one thing, others say that I am many. Ever since the world began, I have been moving in an endless circle. Sometimes I fall from the sky. I am the... Oh, I see some answers, friends. So I see a lot of our friends think it's rain. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it's rain. So great job. And here's that picture, right? That illustration. So if you said rain, awesome work. If you said something else besides rain, that's okay, right? It's part of just having fun and reading and learning about science, okay? So this is the illustration Thomas Locker made to go alongside. So this is how we're going to read through our story today, friends, okay? So let's take a look at the next page. Sometimes I cascade. I tumble down, down over the moss-covered rocks. Through the forest shadows, I am the... I am the mist, mountain, stream, lake. Go ahead if you would like, friends. Go ahead and leave us a comment which one you think it is, right, to make your guess. Okay, and we're going to take a look in just a moment, so let me take a look. I see some of our friends are still getting ready to type in their answer right, but let's take a look at which one it is. I am the mountain stream. So if you were thinking mountain stream, good job. Okay, so mountain streams right in this illustration is a really great time to think back to some of the things we have been talking about in the very beginning of our programs together, right? In the very beginning, when we think back to our maple seed models, we talked all about gravity, right? And gravity again is one of those pulling forces, right? And so in this picture, we can really see how water is being pulled down to the ground, right? And we can see gravity at work too. So here comes our next one, friends. At the foot of the mountains, I leap from a stone cliff, spiraling, plunging. I am the rainbow, river, or waterfall. I'll read it again. At the foot of the mountains, I leap from a stone cliff, spiraling, plunging. I am the. I see some of our friends are catching up right, and they were sharing about our last one. So let's take a look at this one. Waterfall. I am the waterfall. So if you said waterfall, awesome work, friends. If you said something different, that's totally okay. Okay? So let's keep going. Yeah, so here's that illustration for our waterfall. And it's a really cool illustration. It made me think about something that I really love about water, which is soil, and which is weathering and erosion. So if you've never heard those words before, right, this book talks a little bit at the very end about what erosion is. And erosion is the movement of things like rocks and sand and soil because of water, right? So this is a really cool instance, and you can see the power of water, that it makes it move those things around us. Okay, but let's take a look at the next picture. In the shadows of the mountain, I am still and deep. I fill and overflow. I am the... okay, so here are our choices. Clouds, storm, and lake. I'm smiling because I kind of don't remember. And I made this PowerPoint. So you know what, friends? Let me take a look at what our guesses are. Okay, so if you have some guesses, feel free to keep putting them in the comments, friends. And that way we can see what you're thinking. And the rest of our friends can also see what you're thinking. But let's take a look on the screen. Oh, I see some of our friends said lake. Let's take a look. Yeah, lake. Nice job. Nice job to our friends Danielle and Neeti. Good job to my friends that shared that one. Yeah, so a lake is a really cool instance to think about how much water covers the Earth's surface, but also how much of that water is what we would call fresh water. Now there's a difference between fresh water and salt water, right? And that's something you can explore on your own, but only a small percentage of the water that's on the Earth's surface is fresh water, water that we can take in, right? So that lets you know and makes us think about how precious water actually is, right? And how we shouldn't waste water if we can keep from wasting water, right? So that's kind of the reason why we also want to think about when we're brushing our teeth or washing our hands to be mindful of turning the faucet off when we're not using it, right? Okay, so let's take a look at our next one. I wind through broad golden valleys, joined by streams, joined by creeks. I grow ever wider, broader and deeper. I am the... So here are your choices, friends, okay? River, rainbow, or water. So I wind through broad golden valleys, joined by streams, joined by creeks. I grow wider, ever wider, broader and deeper. I am the... So if you want, friends, go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know which one you think it is, right? And I'm going to go ahead and take a look. So I see a lot of friends are typing in river. Okay, so let's take a look. Maybe it is. It is. Yeah, so it's river, friends. So good job if you said river. This one doesn't have a comment that goes along with it, right? Like we said before, not all the pictures will have that little flag that you saw a moment ago, right? But if you want to learn more about water, there's lots of really cool things to learn more about water from. But let's keep going and see what comes up next. I passed through a gateway of high stone palisades, leaving the land behind. Cool silver moonlight sparkles and dances on my waves. I am the thunderhead, sea, or clouds. Okay, so I'm going to read it one more time. I passed through a gateway of high stone palisades, leaving the land behind. Cool silver moonlight sparkles and dances on my waves. I am the. I see Marco said sea. Yeah, so let's take a look, Marco, okay? So, Marco, you are right. It is the sea. Yeah, good job for my friends. So if you were going to say C, right, or if you were typing it out, friends, and you didn't quite finish, right, before I read out the answer, I'm sorry. But please feel free to keep sharing your answers or your guesses with us. Okay, but if you were thinking C, great job too. Okay, so here is that picture of the sea. It's a beautiful picture, right? Drawn upward by warm sunlight in water and white silver veils. I rise into the air, I disappear. I am the. Let's take a look at our answers. Mist, storm front, or rainbow. Let me read that one more time, okay? Drawn upward by warm sunlight in white silver veils, I rise into the air, I disappear. I am the. And here are your choices again, friends. Mist, storm front, or rainbow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look. If any of these are words you've never heard them before, don't worry, I haven't heard a thundercloud. I think that's what it was a moment ago. I haven't heard of that before I read this book. Okay, so you're not alone. So mist, I see a lot of our friends are sharing mist. So let's take a look. Yeah, nice job. So good job to all our friends. Danielle, I see Danielle shared it a couple of times. I see it sounds like our friends were really excited about that guess. Okay, and some of our friends shared something else, which is totally fine. Okay, so it is mist, right? And mist is really fascinating. In thousands of shapes I reappear, high above the earth in the blue sky. I float, I drift. I am the, and here are our choices, okay? I am the storm, I am the clouds, or I am the water. So let me read it one more time. In thousands of shapes I reappear, high above the earth in the blue sky. I float, I drift. I am the. And here are your choices again, okay, friends? So storm, clouds, or water. Okay, so let's take a look. I see Vivian shared clouds. I see some of our friends, a lot of our friends are sharing clouds. Yeah, so let's take a look. It is clouds. So great job to my friends that shared clouds. Awesome work. You're absolutely right on point. And I love clouds because it's really interesting to think about how they form, right? And just like we talked about in the very beginning, clouds come about when water goes through evaporation, but then goes through condensation, right? And all those little bits of water start coming together and connecting to things already in the air, like dust or water crystals or ice crystals, right? And it forms these clouds that we see outside. Today, from where I'm living, it's really nice outside, so there's no clouds. But when we see clouds, it's great to know how they form and what they are about. Okay, so let's take a look at the next page. Carried by winds from distant seas, I move, growing heavier, growing darker, returning. I am the, and let's take a look at our choices. Storm front, sea, or rain. Okay, and I will read it one more time. Carried by winds from distant seas, I move, growing heavier, growing darker, returning. I am the. Okay, and here are your choices, friends, one more time. Storm front, sea, or rain. Now, some of these choices we saw before, right? Okay, so that's okay if you already know what it is based on, noticing which ones we talked about before. That's also really great because it means you're listening closely, right? So let's see. I see a lot of our friends pointed out that we think it's storm front. Awesome. So let's take a look. Yeah, it is storm front. So storm front, right, sometimes we might see clouds that are super dark like this. And it's great just to know that clouds, one, come in all different shapes and sizes, right? But these clouds might mean something. So when we see a cloud, it usually has something to tell us about the weather, right? Whether it's a wispy cloud or a dark cloud like we're seeing right now, or a super puffy cloud. All of those clouds can help us know about give us a clue about what the weather is like outside. Okay? Next. At the wall of the mountains, I rise up as gleaming power-filled towers in the darkened sky. I am the clouds, storm, or thunderhead. Okay, I'm going to read this one more time. At the wall of the mountains I rise up, as gleaming power-filled towers in the darkened sky. I am the, and the choices again, friends, are clouds, storm, or thunderhead. Okay, so I'm going to take a look. I see a lot of our friends are saying storm. Yeah. And I see some of our friends are writing some other answers that we might think it is, right? So let's take a look. This one is thunderhead. So if you've never heard that word before, friends, today, right, don't worry, because I've never heard that phrase before either. Okay, but let's take a look at what thunderhead means. So this is Thomas Locker's illustration or painting of a thunderhead, right? And basically a thunderhead, friends, when is a tall cumulonimbus cloud, right? So it's a really puffy cloud, but it's tall and dense, meaning it's really thick. Okay, now when warm air rises, a thunderhead is when warm air rises very quickly. And when we talked about in the beginning, that warm air, when it gets high in the sky, it gets really cold, right? So it comes together and condenses. So a thunderhead is when this warm air rises quickly and then cools very quickly. And when it cools very quickly, it forms this long vertical cloud. So if you want to look up thunderhead clouds on the internet, friends, you can Google it. It looks really beautiful. They're really cool. Okay, but if you've never heard that word before and you had a hard time guessing, don't worry, because if I didn't read this book ahead of time, I probably wouldn't have guessed that one. Okay, so let's keep going. So you're doing a great job, friends. Okay, next. I blind the sky with lightning. The earth trembles with my thunder. I rage. I drench the mountainside. I am the storm, mist, or water. I'm going to read it one more time. I blind the sky with lightning. The earth trembles with my thunder. I rage. I drench the mountainside. I am the storm, mist, or water. So let's see. I'm seeing a lot of friends are sharing storm. Yeah, seeing a lot of answers coming in. So yeah, you're right, friends. It is storm. It's a great job. Yeah, so that is our friend Thomas Locker's illustration of a thunderstorm, right? And I really like this illustration. It's really pretty. right? Next. Storms come, storms pass. I am countless droplets of rain left floating in the silent air. I reflect all the colors of the rainbow. I am the... Let's take a look at the choices. Mist, storm front, or rainbow. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. Storms come and storms pass. I am countless droplets of rain left floating in the silent air. I reflect all the colors of sunlight. I am the, and I think I gave the answer away just a moment ago, misread it. But here are your choices. Mist, storm front, or rainbow. So let's take a look. Yeah, so you're right, friends. It is the rainbow. Nice job. So this one, friends, is that rainbow, right? And I really love rainbows. It's really great to think about how they form, right? Because beyond being really pretty, it tells us something about physics, right? And the idea of light. So what's happening is water droplets, as water travels through water droplets, they bend and they reflect, okay? Or they go through something called reflection and refraction. So those are two really great ideas and important topics when we're talking and thinking about light. Okay, and reflection is bouncing when light bounces, sort of like our mirror, and refraction is when light bends. Okay, so if you've ever played with a prism or even your glasses, right, and you move them in the light, sometimes you might see light bend. Okay, and that's what's happening when we see rainbows. They go through reflection and refraction, okay, and causes the light to disperse or separate into all the colors of the rainbow. Really cool stuff. And then this one, friends, is our last page of our story. So I am one thing, I am many things. I am blank. This is my dance through our world. And here are our choices, okay? Water, waterfall, or rain. So I'm going to read it one more time. I am one thing. I am many things. I am blank. And this is my dance through our world. So here are your choices, friend. Water, waterfall, or rain. Okay? So let's take a look. I'm seeing a lot of friends are saying rain. I'm seeing some friends are saying water. So great job. Let's take a look. Okay? You're right. It's water. Nice job. And here is that illustration. I think it's a really nice one to end on because it's sort of like the sun is setting, right? And sort of same idea that our book is ending. Okay? So the last thing, friends, wanted to share is that idea that I really appreciate you joining us for this journey to see how water changes, right? And all the different ways our water can turn, what our water can turn into, whether it's rain or mist or clouds, right? Or the sea or the lake or rivers, right? Now, before we end, friends, I do want to make sure to share, right? Our book again is Water Dance by Thomas Locker, right? And also I wanted to make sure to go back over what we talked about in the very beginning of our program together, right? Our time together. So let me change back to our screen so we can see that idea that we talked about in the beginning, right? So one of the things I really liked about this book is it's a great way to talk about the water cycle, right? How water changes and all these different changes it goes through because sunlight warms the Earth's surface, right? Sunlight warms up the grass and warms up us, right? But it also warms up water. And when water warms up, it changes, right? And it might go through evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and this endless cycle that we're seeing on our screen right now. Okay? So friends, I hope that you had a lot of fun. This storybook reading, this story time went by super fast, right? It felt like it went by super fast for me. I think that's because I miss you guys. um, but I hope you had a lot of fun, friends. Thank you, as always, for everybody that's been joining us, right, from home, here live on Facebook, and checking out some of our other things at our website at lsc.org. So if you're looking for more ideas on things to do from home, feel free to check out our LSC in the House content. There's a lot of really great videos that you can see on there, whether it's our animal videos, or you can get a sense on what we're doing with our planetarium staff with Mr. Andrew and Mr. Mike, right? But also our live from friends, Miss Caroline and Mr. Alejandro. So feel free to check out those, and you can also see lots of different experiments you can try from home to keep learning about science and exploring science with us. So friends, I'm going to take a moment or so to go ahead and look in the Facebook live stream to see if anyone has any questions. But if you don't, friends, I hope that you have a wonderful start and rest of your week. Thank you as always for joining us. I hope today was fun, and I will see you next Monday. Okay? All right, so let me go ahead and take a look if there's any questions. Let's take a peek. Oh, thank you, friends. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Danielle. You're very welcome. Thank you to all our friends that are saying thank you. Okay, let's see. Oh man, there's a whole lot of comments here. Um, you're very welcome to all our friends. I see Lucas and Emily. You're very welcome, Lucas and Emily. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Shane and Aiden, you're very welcome, friends. Thank you for joining us so much. All right, let's see. I'm not seeing any questions. And if I miss your question, friends, or you asked your question some time ago and I didn't see it, I apologize. But I'm seeing a whole lot of thank yous. Thank you, friends, for joining us. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week. I'm going to go ahead and continue my week, friends, and my rest of my day. But thank you again for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and a wonderful week ahead. Okay? All right, my friends. So take care, and I will see you next Monday for our next program together. All right? Bye.